this is it. This week is done. I already missed Mother's Day and I refuse to miss Memorial Day. That is the summer opening holiday and I'm a crabber and that is one of the biggest crab holidays of the entire year. So hell or high water, by the end of this episode, crab pots are going in the water. There's no other option. I've run the clock to the bitter end. I'm a crabber. This is a holiday. I need to go catch crabs. That's how I make a living. So as CJ would say, get to work. So I'm gonna repurpose these. These are actually tines off of a Mr. Trash Wheel machine. So these have spent the last decade in Baltimore City Harbor picking up garbage. They put their time in, but instead of throwing them out, I'm gonna cut pieces off I need to be able to fix this rack. This one's sturdy, but all the rest of them kind of suck. This cable is falling off. I've been wanting to replace it. So that's a bike chain cable that I put on there. So I'm just gonna try to cut some of those and stick them on here. Hey, I'm starting a new series where I'm trying to park my truck in all the most inconvenient spots around the marinas. If you guys have any other spots for me to try, let me know, all right? AJ's over here working on the motor box. I'm getting the rack fixed up. All right, so this is loose. Just gonna hack it off of here. Let me borrow this here electricity for 1 second. This needs fiberglass work, so you're gonna get a lesson in fiberglass work today. You ever done that?
No.
Okay, perfect. This is a good place to start. All right, so we're gonna do this in 2 steps. The first step, because that's bare wood, we're just gonna soak up that bare wood with a paintbrush and a little bit of resin, and then we're gonna mix some thickened and put it on there, and hopefully it'll bond to the other stuff. It's a 1-to-1, so you pump 1 pump of hardener to 1 pump of resin. 1 full pump of that, and then 1 full pump of hardener. And it's not near as much. See how that hardener is just like, it's like 1/10 of that? Yeah. So we'll do 2 pumps. You just gotta make sure that the pumps are even, because if you put too much hardener in it, it won't cure. It'll be gummy forever. All right, mix that one up. All right, so any of the spots that are bare wood like that is gonna soak up this epoxy. Here's this paintbrush. Dip the paintbrush in there, and you don't wanna get too crazy with it. You know, brush it in there. If it gets on the outside, that's totally fine. It's gonna hopefully soak into some of these voids and stuff, especially that like end grain stuff. Should, you know, kind of soak that up like wood would soak up water. Probably once you get to that side, you can come back on this side and put a little bit more if you have any left. After that soaks in, then we'll put some thickened epoxy on it. You can fix anything with thickened epoxy. I'm not saying this is the right way to do it, but it's a way to do it. All right, we got these on. We don't need them on the other side because we tie up right here. We unload right onto that side, so we don't be tripping over them anyway. So I really want to get this rack back on the boat. I have these big homemade hinges, which is a piece of I-beam filleted down the center, and then I welded a piece of bar stock on there. And then there's a hole in that piece of wood that I have mounted into the C-channel. That slides in there, and then that gives you a hinge. And that's because I have a winch there, and you can actually pick this rack all the way up and put it down. I thought I would use that feature more, but I never do. It's also the way the rack is held on. There's hinges, bolt right there, and then underneath, we need like a plate so the bolts don't just like rip up through it. And the plates I had before were made out of like Ipe wood, but they've cracked. So I want to make some new ones out of steel. So this stuff here is kind of like Bondo. So fiberglass, the more you get it together, the quicker it's going to kick. And then once it starts to kick, you can't really work with it. Like I can feel this getting hot, and that's because it's starting to kick, and then heat will cause a chain reaction, and it'll all get hard at the same time. To make it last longer, just wipe it around the edge like that. Just get some of it, and then kind of just smearing it in there. It takes a little practice, but this is the perfect thing to practice on. You only have so much time, because if that kicks, then it's not, you can't work with it anymore. So clock's ticking. A temporarily permanent fix. It's really like a 4-person job, but there's only 2 of us, so I guess it's a 2-person job. It's stuck on this cleat. Yeah, it's stuck on this cleat too. We may need to get on the boat. God, there's not much holding on here, huh? That's very close to falling off. What do you think about this situation, Dylan? It's a little curious, but nothing too crazy.
We got some angles happening. It's like MC Escher and Da Vinci kind of
hook
the winch to it back here, and then lift it up. I'll guide it.
The winch is not operational currently. If we can pull the boat back a little bit underneath the rack right now. Like keep the rack where it's at and position the boat.
Don't worry, if it goes, I'll go with it.
Oh, perfect. That'll be great.
I'll Davy Jones right in with it, bub.
And then we'll have to get you in the rack out of the water.
The rack first, though. Hey, you're a beast, dog.
Then the lock washer and then the nut.
There it goes.
Where's that socket set? Is the socket set up there? Probably. All right, go see if you find the socket set. What do you got down there, AJ?
Your ratchet.
I hope. We got magnets because the ratchet's in the drink. See if we can find it. Well, let's try to get the other side on and then we can move the boat out of the way and then try to get in there and find it. We got a magnet fishing video now. Evan Woodard would be proud. Try to drop that one in the water too if you can, if possible. Right. And now you gotta say that ain't going nowhere.
That ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, perfect. Now it's not gonna go anywhere. Yeah, it might go in the drink. Come on. Just how you drop your phone in the water too. This is supposed to be dramatic. And I can't even get it to go. Oh, stuck on that stupid 2x4. You push, I'll lift. Little 16th of an inch of a 2x4 is really screwing us. Perfect. Like a glove. First try. You got something?
Yes, we do. Oh boy.
Oh, look what it is. It's the ratchet. Can't believe it. Look at that, good as used too, huh? Almost came out of your pay, son of a gun. It's in even better shape than when you dropped it. Got the single family home porch hanging back off the end of the Southern Girl. She is almost ready to go. We gotta install this crappy little plastic hatch that's probably gonna get destroyed the very first day out. I'm gonna drill a hole in each corner, and then you're gonna cut it out with a jigsaw. She's starting to look like a crab boat again. She's coming back together. That motor looks nice in there, doesn't it? Fancy stuff. So I have a big decision to make here. I really want to open the crab stand this Saturday, which would be the day after you're watching this video. That's Memorial Day weekend. There's a couple factors. A, can I catch crabs to have available for people? B, am I gonna have the new t-shirt that we're dropping probably the day after you see this video in time to sell at the crab stand? There's just not a ton of crabs around in the water or on the market right now. It's still a little early in the year and the crabs are just going to shed, so they're not trapping too well. So I don't want to open up the crab stand for the first time and have like 2 bushels of crabs and nothing else. And all these people plan to come out and see and support and whatever, and I sell out instantly and then I just disappoint people for the rest of the day. That's my biggest fear. I'm trying to get these t-shirts rushed and made and shipped from California by Friday, so that I can open up on Saturday. But the problem is I have to make the call if I'm gonna open up on Saturday. So it's a huge gamble because there's a small chance I will get them on Friday. And if you're watching this on Friday, it will be tomorrow that will be my grand opening of the crab stand, I guess. And I'm hoping to have the shirts to sell. It's a super awesome shirt. I don't even have one yet because they just started printing them. We have been spending a lot of time on this design just because I want it to be really cool, simple, elegant, good. And I'm really hoping I can get these things by Friday. I'm not sure what to do. It's been a long week and we've probably started and accomplished like 20 tasks or something like that, which is really good, but we've been working our butts off trying to get it all done here. I got something pretty cool to do later today, hopefully. 98 Rock event with my friend Street Bike Tommy and Travis Pastrana. We're going partying tonight, so good reward for working hard all week. We still gotta get these cables out, get a measurement, get these ordered so I can have them here by next week. Oh shoot, this is the wrong cable. Oh no. Oh well, that's all right. These need replaced too, I guess. They're a little sticky. Oh, this is not gonna be cheap. We got the cables out, getting a measurement. What do you got?
16 feet.
16?
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
It's just a good time in a can. If you're not drinking a good boy, what are you drinking? What do? You might as well drink out of a toilet like a dog.
I'm
so good when I hit you.
So one of the benefits of working for yourself is that occasionally you get to knock off work when it's really nice for a couple hours and go test a jet boat. Riley, what is this? Like a Johnson 9.9 or something like that? One of those old V4 Evinrude 2-strokes?
It runs about as good as it one does.
Yeah, it looks slow,
Yeah,
but
it runs.
it's a glorified trolling motor right there in it. What are you wearing, bro? Oh, that guy's a sellout, dude.
I bought it at Goodwill. Isn't that what the one guy said?
Found it at Goodwill. So Riley and I remembered that we forgot to celebrate Earth Day. Better late than never. What's my job?
You gotta make sure that doesn't say E. Make sure that doesn't exceed 10 by too much. Make sure that stays below 100.
What about this gauge? What does this one do? And lights, right?
Yep.
And you got your tune selector.
Yeah, there's 12 tunes on the fly.
You got turn signals.
Trim.
That's a turn signal. And then your throttle is actually a foot pedal. Riley's been building this thing for like 3 years. He bought it, completely tore it down to nothing, and then built an entire engine for it from scratch. And he's had multiple different turbo setups and all that kind of stuff on it. And what's it making around 800 horsepower on pump gas right now, which is insane. Baddest jet boat in the bay, I promise. If you think you have one better, drop a comment, we'll race. I won't, Riley will. I'm not trying to die, this thing's terrifying. This is the scariest boat I've ever been on by far.
It's probably the only jet boat left in the bay. I mean, they used to be popular back in the day, but now they're all just sitting in like your grandma's backyard, rotten.
Yeah, there's a reason too, because it's gotta be slick calm to use one of these things. Today was like the only day we've had all spring. Not a stitch of wind. These boats are so small and light that any little wake will send you into the stratosphere. So you gotta choose your days, but when you can go, boy, can you ever go. We made it to the bar, Riley. Couldn't believe it. It's 10:30 a.m. Damn, Riley. Breaking necks over there, dude. Even the geese went in on it. Just checking out the turb skis, dude. What are the chances we found CJ? Hillbillies, where'd you get that thing from? We're racing for pink slips. You want to race? How come you're the only one with a life jacket on?
I'm the only one who's got something to lose.
Hey, leave your feelings at home.
You just saw we did like an 80-mile-an-hour pull in front of you.
80?
Yeah, it was like 70.
Ah.
This thing is terrifying.
Yeah, it looked like it.
800 horsepower.
800?
Yeah. Riley built it.
Wow.
He's been working on this thing for like 3 years. We just took it to hard guy. It took us like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I believe it. I said, let's see what she's got. What are you gonna do now, Riley? Sell it?
No, I put it in my garage and never touch it again because I'm scared to crack.
Gap everybody else in Maryland on the eastern seaboard, and then stick it in the garage.
Yep.
What do you want to say to your kids if you don't make it back? No English, huh? There goes John. This big ice machine is awesome. I need this to be able to put bait in to go crabbing, but there's no electricity to this thing. So I have to move it to the other side of my yard. Problem is, it's really, really, really heavy. I don't really have any forks or anything. Do happen to have a Bobcat right now. I can use this truck tonneau cover as a sled and put this on the sled and then pull it around to the other side of my yard. Sounds easy, right?
No.
I messed up. Oh, ouch. Oops. That was close. We got her. My neighbors think I'm a redneck. Actually, my neighbors know I'm a redneck. There's a difference. A big step, the first bait of the year. So I gotta load it all into the truck. We'll pick up a big pallet of it, bring it back, unload it. One step closer to setting pots. We're in the home stretch of setting pots. As much as everything in me wants to try to drive down the road with this stacked like 4 feet above the top of the truck, I'm not gonna do it. If your leaf springs aren't frowning, you ain't no crabber. My new brand used ice holder. It was not easy to get here. You know what is easy to get? All your personal information online. You know what I don't have any time to do myself? Keep track of my personal information online. Despite doing content creation and YouTube, I'm still basically a 65-year-old person in a 28-year-old person's body. I don't have a great grasp of the internet, but that's why I use Surfshark. Surfshark is like a VPN service where basically you can encrypt all of your online information, make it a lot harder for people to get a hold of your online information. And for a guy like me that's got about 300 things going on all the time, like in the real world, it's really nice to know that I got somebody having my back on the internet, because much to my surprise, the internet has become a big part of my world. My skill level with the internet did not quite scale with the growth that I had online. Just, I'm not built like that. Surfshark lets you encrypt all of your information online, surf the internet. You can even use that free public Wi-Fi without being worried about somebody like just taking your stuff. I don't know anything about computers, and I still use it, and it's kept me safe so far. I trust them. You ought to try them. And cool little hack that if you do want to watch Netflix, you can watch Netflix in other countries. They got some shows that we just don't have here, you know what I mean? That's a little pro tip. The only thing I wish Surfshark would do is load these boxes of freaking bait into the freezer for me. Maybe with the next update, I don't know. Surfshark is awesome for me. I'm a small business owner. I don't want my hard-earned social media followings to get hacked or any of that kind of stuff. So I always use a VPN service just to keep the stuff encrypted. Rather be safe than sorry, because you don't ever feel like you need something like that until it's too late. You really ought to get it. Just be done with it. Be safe. Don't need to know anything about computers. I'm a freaking crab fisherman. I don't know nothing about computers. Check it out. Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this truckload of bait. I really appreciate it. This stuff ain't cheap. And thank you for you, the viewer, for watching all of these things that I do. So my trailer needs fixed. One of the doors has been falling off pretty much for the last 2 years. So I already rebuilt one of the doors. The other one needs love though. Problem is, the trailer's right here. And usually I pull it out right down that road, but as you can see, there's a mountain of crab pots there. I'm gonna see if I can pull it out around the corner. I forgot the key to the trailer and I don't even know where it is. It's gonna be a little bit of a process getting this piece of crap out. I already had AJ down there working at the marina for an hour. I'm sure he's out of things to do. I don't know if you guys ever have days where you feel like you're just running around getting nothing done. They're very frustrating days. That's how today started, so see if we can turn it around. All right, I got it. Only like a 15-point turn. We're good. Let's see if it makes it down the road. So as you can see, this door is literally just coming apart. You gotta undo this door and tear it all apart and rebuild it, and that is not a super easy task. I did it on this door, I think the year before last, because it was as bad as that one. And this one's held up pretty nicely. I basically had to reframe it and then chop the foam. If I could have it like this one, I'd be happy. Let's find some kind of hammer or something to tap those. The last thing. Oh God, here's that tank light.
We're gonna try to fix it.
Well, my door is destroyed, but this corner of the trailer is pretty well destroyed too. Do the lights work? As far as I know, there's nothing but like hopes and dreams holding those in. I'm afraid of what I'm gonna find if I get into that project.
I'm a little afraid of welding the stone inside it. You're gonna start a fire.
Yeah, that wouldn't be ideal.
Didn't think about that.
That's why John's here.
Yeah, exactly.
You could always put a third hinge on it in the center. I think we could reuse these, AJ. What do you think? This one. Oh yeah, that one's in good shape. That's 20 years of hauling seafood will do. So we basically have to gut all of this and then stick that back on here after we rebuild everything.
Does this whole thing go in the trash?
Yeah, all the wood, we'll have to peel the wood out. Undecided on the plywood yet, if we're gonna try to patch that with resin or peel it out. This thing is in bad shape. See, this part of the trailer's in bad shape. It's not really, it's unsafe to take anywhere. It's just not together anymore. And the door hangs on that, so I might have to do something about all this. To be fair, this trailer was not in great shape when I got it. It was the only one I could afford. This is a piece of that old boat trailer. Remember the alternative trailer when I took the black tip to Florida? This was the other option. And this may work perfectly. I know how this goes. The more you dig into it, the more you're gonna find. And you're gonna find things that are more work. I can't help myself, and it kind of needs to be fixed anyway. Oh yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. This could turn into a week-long project, and I cannot afford to take on a week-long project. Fasteners in this thing are not in good shape. The trailer always sits on this angle, so all the nasty stuff runs to one corner. Some premium stuff right here. Wow, look at all those vampire clips, one after another. I'm surprised this still worked. Let's put that in my pocket for later. We're about to be committed to finishing this job. This is not what I planned on. I thought I was just gonna fix a door, clean it up. Seems like it should just fall off now. Get some gloves. I need a tetanus shot.
Make sure you cut it at the same spot that this thickness is. See what I'm saying?
Damn, and then I'm gonna have to weld all the way, but you can even weld to that. I'm not sure that'll take a weld.
Maybe not everywhere, but it'll take a weld here and there. Put something on there to be your guide.
Oh my gosh. Not much left of that. That is just mulch. My expensive trailer. This is not what I was planning on working on today, but the project that found me for the next couple days.
Could get a piece of that big aluminum square tube and cut so it goes like this and then like this all the way down. Then notch it for this thing and basically bridge this whole mess again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. One of the other problems is this stuff is so nasty that it keeps catching on fire. So I've had to put out a couple primary fires and a few secondary fires as well. This is usually the point where most people would throw the trailer away and buy another one, but that is not an option. So we're gonna fix it with a bunch of trash. Use very few actual measurements. We're just kind of gonna start sticking it back together, I guess. I just also got in this fair lead and these nice new fancy cables from Rose Marine up in Gloucester, I think. So we gotta get these in the boat too. But since we started the trailer, we gotta finish that first. We got a piece of wood in here and stick an angle out and another one on the other side. That's gonna give me something to weld to when I put this piece of C-channel here. Cutting holes for the tail lights, which some say are necessary, but we're using hole saws. They're probably for wood, but they're cutting steel just fine. We only got 2 more holes to make, so we're in good shape. Oh my God.
Oh, I saw that coming.
Why the hell did that happen?
Because you leaned on it.
Like a weird angle. Whoops. Another 1/4 inch bit bites the dust. Like I was saying, the hole saw for cutting wood is standing up great to steel. That was actually a lot more operator error. Let's weld the drill bit back together, straighten it out, resharpen it, and then try it again. Sharpie won't even write on it because the will. I'm just gonna score it with this box cutter, and we should just be able to punch the steel right out of it. Cut to the 30-hour time lapse of me cutting this piece of steel with a box cutter.
You're riding on your looks.
That's what Cy claims.
Your brains are
Minimal. Yeah, you don't need brains. You don't need, who needs brains when you're just good-looking, smart, talented, and humble?
Your brain is a liability.
You're right.
I think it would have been faster just to cut the whole thing out with a jigsaw.
No. All this work in the metal that's already rusty. Light's not bad in there, actually. Fits pretty good. Hopefully it never has to come out. Should line up kind of nice. Bees. Not trying to get stung by bees. That'd be fun. Look at that. Not bad. Straighten that all out with a clamp when I go to weld it. You got that now. Have the side piece. Now I gotta cut one for down here. So I'm not gonna lie, one of my biggest fears of welding this together is that it may catch on fire and burn to the ground. If I had better insurance, that would be okay. Since I don't, we're gonna wet everything down, including all the foam and mulchy wood. It's been trying to catch on fire this whole past day I've been working on it. Oh yeah, that's nice. Shout out Miller Welding for sending me this brand new Miller welder. I'm super pumped to use it. This is the new Miller Poverty Edition. I think this is full of propane or something. I'm not really even sure. I got it at Home Depot. I'm just gonna weld the clamp to it and cut the ends off. Go around and try to tack her up, huh? No idea what wire speed I'm supposed to use or heat or any of that.
Well, you want the lowest heat for sure.
This is not a fire retardant jacket, but it kind of looks like one. Is it on? You have to charge this thing with like a bicycle or a horse-drawn mechanism before you can use this. Hopefully I don't catch on fire. Hopefully this doesn't catch on fire. Hopefully I press record just in case this catches on fire. Oh, nice. I blew through the top and I welded on the bottom. Not a single bit of stickage.
Let's see what Sai can do with that. See if you can mess with it a little, because you're not. Hey, Sai! Let's just see if he has any tricks for us.
This thing keeps spitting wire out. If anybody knows why this thing spits out like a couple inches of wire after you let off the trigger, let me know.
Gotta just be a master tacker. Tack, 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 tack. Just tack it. Don't weld. Just put a bunch of tacks in it, and then you can weld over all the tacks. There'll be some meat there.
Ooh, machine is hard to tack with.
Just push it every time.
Ooh, good idea. That's probably gonna catch on fire. This is not going real well. I ain't no welder, I guess. This is very frustrating. Got like one side of 100 done. I only caught on fire once, and the trailer only caught on fire twice briefly, so we're doing pretty good. It's also like really important that you pick a super windy day to use a MIG welder outside. Oh, freaking hot. Oh God, it was bright. I'm falling apart here. It's very windy. My shield gas is doing not its thing because it's so windy. This is so stupid. Freaking crabs, man. Hate crabs. Come on, man. Really nice and windy. All right, that kind of sucked, but hacking up whatever, but it's done. Well, it's not really done, but the metal's welded in there, and I actually think it looks pretty good. And around the side, up here. Just use these Coast Guard safety things right here. I was coming to put cables in the boat, and the ground is leaking. Yeah, that's not one I've seen before. It appears as though the dirt has sprung a leak. I didn't know that the dirt could sink. We gotta put cables in the boat. Top of the line, hopefully never have to replace them again. What you have is a heavy duty wire that runs all the way through the sheathing, and then pull or push on the end of the wire, you're moving it all the way through the sheathing while holding the sheathing still. So that's what allows you to push or pull from your controls wherever you're driving to whatever it needs to push or pull to put you in gear or give you throttle on the engine side. But they tend to go bad all the time, and mine were not routed correctly, and I had some old crappy ones in there, so I just sprung for the really, really nice ones, and I'm hoping, Lord willing, I never have to replace these because these were very expensive, but trying to upgrade things as I am able to. But shout out to Renovating for being really helpful and getting these to me ASAP. They're really good dudes. After we do one, we have 3 more because there's 4 total. I'm gonna try to tape the new cable to the old cable and then pull it through so I don't have to thread it underneath the boat. That's really not possible. It is, but it's a pain. I've done it. So this cable does throttle, so pull a cotter pin, we'll lose that somewhere. Here's our old cable. We're gonna need this piece. I'm gonna pull it off now so I don't lose it trying to pull the other cable through. There we go. That is an important piece right there. Put these with your cotter pin somewhere close to being overboard. Tape these together like that. Make sure you tape the ends of it too so that they're not getting like caught on stuff. I've also taped the wrong end of the cables before, but I think I got the right end here. Eating this one and pulling this one. Holy crap, it actually came through. It's not near as painful as I was expecting it to. Now I just gotta pull that off 3 more times. We're gonna reroute these cables. We need new holes. Come on. Oh, are you kidding me? Is the battery freaking dead? All right. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, wow, that's lovely. My controls ripped out of the dash the other day, so I gotta make like a plate to mount them back in because in the cabin, all the screw holes are stripped out and I can't move it around enough to find more. All right, cutting this out. Have one more cable to go. It's sort of a big brain activity, at least for me, because they go from the engine and the transmission to here, but then whatever side you put them on here, they have to be opposite in the cabin, because when you pull one, you push the other, and you don't want your controls to move opposite of each other. So I already had to like take them all apart and flip them around once. And isn't that a beautiful thing? See the one up there? When I move this one, that one moves. Throttle right there. Beautiful stuff. I got my homemade bracket here, which actually worked out really, really nicely. It seems to be sturdy enough. I can clear the starter now. The cable isn't binding. Everything's adjusted and this is tightened down. Cables are re-ran. We're in good shape, man. Always wanted some buttery smooth cables. Look at that. Ugh, with your finger. Don't even have to lean on them, nothing. Then up in the cabin, since I ripped this out of the dash, I had to build this little platform and see my custom carriage bolts. Yeah, those are custom to this boat. I've never been able to do that in this boat. This boat, you've always had to like wrench on it, but forward, neutral, reverse. One of the other important things to do is I just go over all the hoses and cables and make sure nothing is like touching. On boats, everything is shaking and vibrating all the time, and you'll wear right through cable sheathing or hoses, anything like that. So I either need to put some kind of chafing gear on things or space things out with zip ties. It's not a situation you want to deal with. I want this cable to run alongside this hose but not touch it. I'll take a zip tie, put a loop around it like that. Take another zip tie, put it like that. Should end up looking like that. Holds it away, but it's still connected. Because you don't want them tight to each other. They'll rub up against each other and rub a hole. Wow, there's all these carp jumping. You see that? Carp are breeding right now. It's springtime here in Maryland. I think I can finally get this thing back together. I'm relieved. It's one step closer. Now the boat can actually look like a boat again instead of a... Whoopsies. I actually thought I was done on the boat, and then I remembered that the entire winder basically needs to be rebuilt. So this hydraulic orbit motor needs replaced right here. Mine's leaking bad, and then I gotta put a new fair lead, which is this pulley that's totally destroyed. This thing is stuck. I mean, stuck on there. I got a puller and a heat because it can't be stuck if it's liquid. Got it off. Now we got to get these 4 bolts and the motor will drop out the back, and then we can just switch over these hydraulic lines, and hopefully I hook them up backwards so every time I hit the pedal this thing spins in reverse. That would really be ideal. These things are like marriages or bilge pumps. They either last forever or they last like months. And this one will probably last about a year. It's about the same length as your average marriage these days. They're pretty much identical. The speed in which these spin is measured by the thickness of the plate in the back. I think it's like the thinner the plate, the faster they spin. So this is the mid-speed one. This thing is so stinking stuck on there. I had to bolt it back up to the winder just to have a hope to get it off of here. It's bending the wrench out. I have no idea how it's possibly so stuck. But I'm about to put a pipe on it and we'll see if that'll get her loose. Big enough. So frustrating. What about this? Universal. I'm bending the entire freaking winder. Oh, I think it broke it loose. We'll see. Oh, yes, got it. I can't believe how hard that thing is on there. It's crazy. One down, one more to go, I guess. It's taking me all day to put cables in this boat and rebuild this winder. I am beat. Fair lead is on. The whole winder is rebuilt. Ready to go kill some crabs. All right, trailer is pretty much done. I have the aluminum plate on here, an unholy amount of caulk, and new metal welded into it. So she should be good to go for a little while. I just gotta rebuild the other door and stick it back on and replace the unit and the other thing and clean the whole freaking trailer. We're very close, but also very far. Unit door is completely rotten, but it's got this rotten plywood, and I do not want to have to scrape it out or sand it out or any of that stuff. And I just want to reframe it, fill it with foam. Luckily, Total Boat sent this penetrating epoxy, just fiberglass essentially. So thin fiberglass, so it'll soak up in there and then it'll be just as hard as fiberglass. It's 2-to-1, super easy to mix. If you get these, they even have a little 2-to-1 thing right here. It's kind of a cheat code if you don't want to like completely redo something. The number one thing is you have to make sure that it's dry or else it will not take. This is dust. It actually kept catching on fire when I was using a grinder around it. This is the perfect thing to try it on. I'm just gonna kind of pour it on here and spread it out. And hopefully it'll take. Oh, I can feel it getting warm. It seemed to soak it up really nicely. I'm curious to see what it ends up like, but I'm telling you, this is gonna be like way stronger than the actual sheet of plywood times 10. This is not the right way to do it. This is the perfect stuff for when you need to tackle a situation like this. The days are dropping by quick. This weekend is my little brother's graduation up in Pennsylvania. I have been busting my tail to be able to have 2 days to go up there and be his graduation and turkey hunt with him one day. So I'm down here checking on the boats. We're gonna hit the road. We'll be back in 2 days. I'm also grabbing the battery charger to put on the other crab truck to see if it will start if I let it charge over the weekend. Check your float switches. Make sure they're working.
Logan Dale McFadden, go out.
Finally taking the first load of crab pots down to the marina to stage them up for setting. Got a lot of loads of these to do.
Something definitely smells like burning rubber. I'm not sure what that is. I smelled it when we got here the first time too.
So, after last week's video, I realized I made a really big, really stupid mistake. I tied every one of these lines incorrectly. So now they all have to be undone and then redone. And it's silly because the entire point of me redoing all these lines and making them brand new, just to make sure everything was done completely right, everything was gonna be exactly the same. And I made every one of them 10 feet short because I'm no good at math, unless it's crab math. The math wasn't math, and I thought that half of 75 was 32 and a half. It was not. It turns out it was 37 and a half the whole time. By the time I figured that out, I was flabbergasted. Now we have to untie all of these and then retie every one of them and add in some line. Gonna be more work than it is actually to redo them. Valuable lesson, because now AJ has job security. Right, AJ? That's what happens when you get Russian. All right, well, we're here at the crab stand and we have a little bit more work to do. Cut the back out, the transom out of the thing. Basically cut a doorway to be able to get in and out of it. Turned the pieces I cut out into like removable pieces, and then I was gonna do the same with where I cut it out and just tidy it up. But I brought all this crap and forgot the fiberglass and the paint from Total Boat to do it. So I figured that would happen. I was doing 18 things at the same time. I wanna try to clean this stuff up so it's not, you know, just getting fiberglass in your arms, and make these pieces removable. So it's not just a giant open gaping hole all the time. Build a counter right here so I can work out of the trailer, check people out of the counter. I also want to try to come up with something to hang t-shirts from here without being super intrusive. We'll get started. I didn't know what to bring, so I just brought a whole bunch of basically scrap wood and a whole bunch of other junk. And check this out. My neighbors are awesome. Huge shout out to Birdland Construction for letting me use an extension cord right now, because my lot doesn't even have any power. I'm working with like bare bones here. I have no electricity, no running water. I have nothing here. It's just a lot. So until I can get electric, they're letting me borrow one so I don't have to run this crazy loud generator all day. I'm sure it's probably mostly because they don't want to listen to it. I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. But check it out. We got the first remnants of the name. Having this hand painted on here. Bodkin Point Seafood. Got Dora Lynn up here. She is gonna be pretty.
Give you a pro tip here. If you need to just like delete something, fiberglass, wood, metal to a point, a hard pad on a grinder, dude, is the way to go. Telling you, this stuff just deletes things and you gotta be very careful. It's like a pistol grip sander, except it smokes meth and takes no prisoners. So you gotta be very careful with it, but used correctly, you could ruin nice things just like me in no time flat. So I got these pieces. I try to make this latch so you can kind of pull it in and out, and then that piece lays on top. I try to use these big door latches so that it's sort of removable. Yeah, something like that. In order to avoid the cussing and screaming when I strip out all four of the screws. Pre-drilling comes with maturity, I think. Like, I never used to pre-drill anything, and I used to just be upset that it didn't work. Oh, nice. It stuck right through the back. Shoot. Oh, well. It is what it is. Can't solve every single little issue. Gonna have to live with it. Damn it. See, if I would have cut that the opposite way, it would work just fine. It didn't. So it doesn't.
Here it is.
There. I'll pull it out. Do them. Boom. Walkway. Don't get too close to the back because there's screws sticking out the back. I'm curious to see how this is gonna fit in here. If it will, not real well. See, the problem here is that it's a little heavy. Okay. This is much better. And that's fine with me. At least it's not just a giant gaping open hole like the one that lives inside of me rent free. Put some legs on it so it doesn't fall, I guess, now. Phase 2, here we need a counter. I feel like it should be taller. I feel like this is better. I have this piece of a box truck. It's just like some fiberglass plywood. It's actually cheaper to buy the boxes and cut them up than it is to buy the plywood and then fiberglass to plywood, little hack over there. And I got this aluminum seat panel. I also forgot a grinder blade, so I'm cutting 45s with a set of dikes. I'm just trying to put a border around this thing, just to give us a little something fancy. Clasp the joint up a little bit. Probably one of the only pieces of metal I've bought this entire build. Got one more side to do. First one, suspiciously easy. All right, we used the screws left over from the latches. Looks pretty good.
Looks like a real pot rail, but it's not. It's a counter. One of the other things I want to do is find a really good way to hang t-shirts. Now that I look at it, my plan may not work quite as well as I thought.
Put hangers on this chain. That's it. Down to here, and then you can take the hangers and stick them in all the loops. And then you can hang them vertically and they'll all kind of hang out a little bit so they won't be like all bunched up on each other. I don't know if that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. Pretty much done. Rail on the counter. I keep calling it a rail because it looks like a rail. It's a counter. T-shirt thing, gonna try that. We'll see if that works. I still want to come up with something to like display either crabs or produce or something like that. I also need a price board. I kind of forgot about that until I was just standing here thinking about all the things I still haven't built yet. So, little counter, little shelf under the counter for deterrents. Little fancy woodwork. Not really, it's made out of garbage, but aluminum rim around here. It is raining its butt off, but yeah, not too bad, right? Nice little counter. Back the trailer up to here. Got a nice walkway. And then these are the pieces that fit into there. So this spring of 2024 is probably the furthest behind I've ever started a crabbing season. It's honestly a little shameful and embarrassing. I should have set crab pots a couple weeks ago. Between the crab stand and trying to scale my business and whatever, I'm just behind and I'm still trying to learn how to be efficient with time, delegate tasks, spend money wisely, to do all those things. It's just a steep learning curve. I wake up every morning and I'm like scrambling to get as many things as done as humanly possible so I can go crabbing. And now I'm pretty much ready to set pots, but I'm having a hard time with this weather because it is starting to blow east and northeast and all the directions that are not ideal for where I need to go. I don't mind the rain so much as I do the wind. The wind makes it really hard because when you have a big stack of crab pots on my little boat, you just can't move that many at one time. I am really desperately trying to get out there and go catch some crabs. The dates are not quite lining up the way I'd like to for opening day of the crab stand, and it's seriously stressing me out. But it'll happen eventually. Maybe not exactly when I think it's going to or when I want it to. Keep on trucking.
It ain't going nowhere. I can't hear the whole train shot now. Yeah, this trailer's just like the roof on the boat where I'm like, I just need to make it another year, I'll get another one. Yeah. Then I never get another one.
Like a charm. We're gonna end up putting some of the pots that we just brought down right onto the roof unbaited. I can stack them up to 4 high on this roof, but I don't like leaving the boat with any gear on the roof, any amount of gear on the roof overnight typically. But if we only stack them too high, it won't be too much weight and I'll still be able to keep an eye on it without worrying too much. That was close. Dylan, did I make you nervous? Think I was gonna scratch your car?
Nah, I know you bought me a new one.
Yeah, I would never be able to afford something that nice. Would never financially recover from that mistake.
moving crab pots is one of the things that is a lot slower with the less people you have. And I know that sounds silly. There's not an even scale of like one person, super hard. 2 people, pretty hard. 3 people, 100 times easier than even having 2 people. It's like a strange scale, if you know what I'm saying. Funny, because every single crabber in the whole bay does crabbing differently, and every one of them is convinced it's the only way to do it. And their system is the absolute best. I'm no different. I mean, obviously I'm gonna do it the absolute best way I think I can, but some guys tie their pots to the top, some guys tie their pots to the bottom of the iron. I've always tied to the bottom of the iron. I'm just trying to make them all even. I have a few that are still left tied to the top, and I actually don't mind this. I just like when they're all exactly the same, and I have more that are tied to the bottom than the top, so I'm just gonna convert them over. I said, anytime you have the opportunity to move a crab pot, the time to fix it. This thing's gonna get lost in a sea of 899 of its friends. Hand me pots out of this stack here. We'll put them on the roof, and then we'll just put those ones right there, so you don't have to keep hopping up and down the trailer. You know what I mean? I don't know why that didn't occur to me from the beginning, but
Not what I said at first.
yeah, you're right. AJ 1, Luke 0.
She's loaded up. We can fit a lot more, but leaving it, I'm not gonna put any more. You can see she's sitting a little lower now in the water.
I'm gonna try like hell to get some gear over tomorrow. Have a little bit of a weather cap. It's not the best weather. It's actually kind of crappy weather. We're loading some hulks up, boat's loaded up. We'll have to get some fuel in the boat. AJ's finishing up retying all the lines that I had him tie incorrectly. Tomorrow morning, we'll be off to the races. My sister gets married tomorrow afternoon, so we're gonna have to get in, get out, and get done early, because I'd look a little bad if I missed that. I'm very nervous about the first day, kind of opening day of the crab stand. Just, it's a whole new thing with the stand there. I know all you guys are super excited to see it. I also am launching a couple products here I'm really excited about. Once we hit the ground crabbing, we can just keep crabbing. Especially in the last couple of years, my business has been growing at a crazy rate, hugely in part to you guys. And I cannot thank you guys enough. Problem is, started out, I was begging people to come buy my crabs, and now I'm selling out really fast. Literally can't catch enough crabs with the licenses and the rig. I just can't keep crabs on the shelf. I am going to have to start buying crabs from other watermen this summer and selling them to you guys. This is something that I've really thought and struggled with a lot. It's the only way to do it. There's not one crab store or whatever that just catches all their own. Most of them are supplementing with other US caught crabs caught by other hardworking US commercial fishermen. That's what I'm gonna kind of have to do too. I am gonna do everything I can to uphold quality. You know, we still are gonna touch every crab that comes through before you guys get to it, you know, so we're checking for quality, size and right, everything. But we're gonna deliver the best, very best product that I possibly can. I have some really awesome guys lined up that I'm gonna be getting some crabs from. Crabs right from the area, Maryland crabs. Not only help my own business, but also spread the wealth a little bit and be able to pay other fishermen a fair wage for their catch and sell it to you guys at hopefully a fair price. It's a blessing to be able to have more demand than what I can even come up with. And I'm really excited that I can finally now pass that on to, you know, other local fishermen in the area from Maryland. Already preemptively thanking you for your patience for the learning curve that I have coming for me this year.
How does it feel to have to pay for my mistake?
Not good.
Yeah, I bet. That looks like it sucks.
When you put hydraulic fluid in, make sure you spill a little just to keep things from rusting. Should have bought a big funnel. Correction, I have like 10. I should have found one. Good to go. Just gonna fire the boat up and let her run. Make sure nothing catches on fire or any of that fun stuff. Well, it's the weekend, it's Saturday, and all our friends are out doing fun stuff. What are we doing, Lindsay?
Moving crab pots
Yep.
on the world's sketchiest crab pot trailer.
It's not that sketchy. It's pretty sketchy, actually. Ooh, we did just trim some trees in the driveway. When the crew's out of town.
That's what you have a wife for.
Yeah, exactly. Who needs a crew when your wife can pick things up and put them down?
Hopefully we can get this done before it really pours down right here. See, honey, this is basically like crabber CrossFit.
You know
don't
what
even
they
need
say. Lift with your wife, not your back.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like CrossFit for just your lower back.
It's actually better than CrossFit because you don't have to pay for it.
I've never believed in going to the gym. I've always figured if you're gonna expend physical labor or physical energy, you really ought to get paid for it. Not pay for a place to go do it. That just seems ridiculous. I bet I've been to the gym like 6 times in my life. Usually it's to cancel my membership.
Remember the winter that I tried to take you a couple times and you didn't know what you were doing, even though I was telling you what you were doing? It was really funny.
Oh yeah. I also have no idea how to use any of the stuff at the gym. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, so, I don't know, the whole concept just seems crazy to me.
I love the gym.
This is the gym. As we take crab pots off the trailer starts to fall apart because the main structure of this trailer, besides the paint, is the crab pots that you put on it. Believe it or not, this trailer is far sketchier without crab pots on it because it moves in sections and it's like 2 zip codes wide.
Well, every time I drive by the yard, I just see the trailer like looking like that all the time.
Yeah, but when you put all the crab pots on it and put the rope across it, you can pull it tight and put it back together. I guess the gym makes sense if you like don't do like physical work for a job.
Yeah, like me, I just sit down all day at my job, so I like to go exert physical labor. It makes you feel better, you know how you hate sitting still?
I always felt like the energy that you expend at the gym you could monetize.
Yeah, I ain't no freaking crabber.
You are today. Well, we're getting this done way faster than I'm used to.
Why is that?
Usually because I get distracted.
Well, pretty work, honey.
Thank you. Got it done.
How about, I'll take you to dinner and room and board for the rest of your life. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Fair trade. Hopefully I can get out of here without, hitting any of the things. I think it just makes you better at backing up a trailer. By the way, look at these beauties I scored from the neighbor. Boy, these things are nice. If you don't know what these are for, you ain't no crabber. That's a crankshaft right there, and that is the best anchor you'll ever find. A unit of measurement in the crabbing world is 1 crankshaft or 1/2 a crankshaft. So if something weighs a crankshaft, it's a cubic crab ton. If it's a 1/2 a crankshaft, it's a 1/2 a cubic crab ton. This one is a little bit bigger, so that one's an extra big cubic crab ton. These are, a standardized cubic crab ton. But these, I'm telling you, if you lop them in half with a torch, that's the best boat anchor you'll ever have. These things will hold in hard bottom, they'll hold in mud, they'll hold in sand, rocks, shell, anything. So when the guy said he was taking them to the scrapyard, I said, no, put them in the truck. Have them the rest of my life. My kids will take them to the scrapyard. I need some shelving at the crab stand. I'm gonna try to build some stuff out of these pipes. The most important part about this is to get all the grease off of this stuff. They always pack these fittings in like some kind of grease or oil. And if you want paint to stick to it, you gotta get rid of it. Use brake cleaner. No scrubbing or nothing. So I built these, and the idea is that this one will go here, the other one will go on the other side, and I'll have another one up here. We'll have like 2 shelves I can put all my t-shirts. I'm not super clear on the height I should put them or anything. I'm just gonna wing it. And I can always change it, Hopefully these little things hold it, because those boards are a little heavy, but I didn't want them to warp because they have to go so far. T-shirts. Where do I put the other one? Like, that's a little high. What if they were on the inside like this? And you can just reach over and grab it, And it wouldn't have to be as high. You could still see everything everywhere. It's kind of cool. Looks pretty good. I kind of like that. I like it. Now I need some here that are like angled to put produce on or something like that. Or maybe down here. Maybe that would be good. I don't know. She's looking nice. It's about 5 a.m. and I guess today is the official first day of my 10th crabbing season. First day of crabbing season is always a little bittersweet just because I know that once that first pot hits the water, it is a non-stop sprint to November. But I'm ready to go. Let's get it. We are gonna need these today. These are to plug the scupper holes in the back of the boat. So this boat is self-bailing, meaning you can dump a bucket of water on the floor and it's gonna run to the back of the floor, then run out holes and back into the water. And we have all this weight on the boat and those holes sometimes go below the water line and that can sink you. So I have these plumbing plugs wrapped in electrical tape that jam in the scupper holes when we have a big load on. So when I'm looking to set, I'm typically looking for a couple things. Good bottom, maybe where the crabs left off last year, or kind of muddier bottom, something like that, depending on the water temperature, or an edge. I know the crabs are gonna wanna travel along, especially when the crabs are kind of scarce. But right now, this year, I'm just looking for open space. I think the pickings may be slim. All right, we're loaded up. The first load of crab pots for 2024. Hopefully we can find a place to put them and get to the cabin.
Well, I know when the neighbor's flag is flying, it may be a little rough out there.
Looks like CJ is getting ready to put a stack on, and we sent some this morning as well.
It's tight. It is tight.
2024.
Well, first load of pots is officially overboard. We had like 6 rows over. We got 34 more to go. Quite a bit of work to do here, but got it. Found a little bit of bottom, nothing crazy. A couple okay spots, but I'm just trying to get them out here overboard, and then we can move them around, kind of adjust. DJ's already loaded another stack. We're both just dumping them close to home today. I will say, there's never a dull moment here at the marina. Come back, sometimes you just never know what you're gonna see. That appears to be John fishing on a floating pier, a work floating pier. Pretty far away from the dock. I'm not sure how he got over there, how he's getting back, but look, it's freaking Tom Sawyer down there. That's a heck of a boat.
All right, we're not only testing the new Hawks we built, we're testing the line that AJ had to do twice. Really like 3 times.
Well, we just got the last of the gear overboard. Not gonna lie, I'm not real happy. We do not have a lot of sets that I have a ton of confidence in as they sit, but a lot of times when you first set, you got to put them in positions where you can move them, or on the outside of some gear that you just gotta figure out. You never really catch many on the first set typically. When crab pots sit on land, they basically need a fishing cycle to get them to catch. So like crab pots sat on land all winter and then got freshly painted and you put them overboard. The first time you fish them, the pots kind of smell like land and whatever, I guess, to the crabs, is what I've always heard. They don't like it. They don't like to trap up in it. So you gotta fish it through, put fresh bait in it and everything. And the second or third set, usually, you know, you'll start to catch them. Still potentially a little bit away from actually putting some crabs on the floor, but I'm sure we'll have something. 300 down, 600 more to put overboard. I think I'm literally the last guy to set in the whole fleet. It's pretty pathetic, to be honest with you. I can't do nothing about it now. I wish I would have got here earlier, but I didn't. So. On the bright side, the lines AJ had to tie 15 times ended up working out really nice. The new guy, Landon, seemed to do all right. See if he wants to stick around, or I don't know, nobody died, so we're in good shape so far. And I tell you what, these cables are buttery smooth, man. I feel like a whole new boat. I will say, it does feel really good to be back out on the water. I hate working on land. When you work on the water, do the same thing like for so long, where you feel like you belong a little bit. This is my element. This is where I want to be, where I know I'm good at something, where I find a lot of my value. I'm excited to break that first trap over the rail and hopefully see a couple crabs here. It's been too long. I'm ready to get back in the routine of it and the grind of it. I love it. I don't know why, but it's something I look forward to every year. Something that just feels wrong to not have every year. The boat is really starting to look good. We have a little more of the lettering done. We still got some pinstriping and we got to do it on the other side. By we, I mean Jake's got to paint it. Really going to push to try to open this Saturday. Have kind of an open house. People can come down and see it, buy some t-shirts, some crabs, hang out, just come say hi. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie. So after I do it, I think it's going to be a lot smoother. I'm always trying to improve on what I'm doing. And so I'm curious, drop the name of your other favorite YouTube creators. I'm curious who you guys watch on YouTube. Let me know why you like them. Because just like crabbing, I'm trying to figure out YouTube. I really appreciate you guys are always really willing to give me your 2 cents, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. That's the only way that, you know, people get better at things, is hearing what other people have to say. So we're just up here at the crab stand, making sure everything's gonna be fine for Saturday, grand opening. Jake is finishing up all the hand painting.
Man, that is looking awesome, guys. True artists here.
Really churching this thing up. So we got pots in the water, and we are fishing them. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We got some crabs. Not a whole ton of them, but we do have a few. And they're all big, pretty, beautiful, rusty belly crabs. We'll be selling them first come, first serve, because I just don't have a ton of them. I'll see you guys Saturday, which will be tomorrow, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Basically an open house, and be selling all the crabs I caught this week. I'm not taking any pre-orders. All the crabs are being sold first come, first served by the dozen. But we will have a Jimmy's Famous Seafood food truck there the whole time, so come hungry. Come check out the boat, and even if we sell out of crabs before 5, we're just gonna hang out until 5. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, and the t-shirts came in. So if you come to the crab stand, you can get a shirt. So as CJ would say, get to work.